Hey everyone, today we are going to understand everything about Metasploit Framework, which is very important in ethical hacking and penetration testing as well. This course is completely made for beginners and I'll explain things as simple as possible. We'll explore server side, client side attack, server side attack, privilege escalation, and our target will be Windows machine and the Metasploitable 2 in this course. So keep ready with those machines. Windows 7 is preferred and Metasploitable 2 from Rapid 7 could be downloaded from there. So to begin with, what is Metasploit Framework? Normally, this framework for use for developing and executing exploit codes against the remote target. Okay, whenever we want to execute some, if there is a vulnerability that is present, then we can use this Metasploit to exploit that and take advantage of it. Then we can gain access to the system or resources that are present in it. And if you do not have any vulnerability in that, then that will be where you try to create your own payload and then deliver it to the victim, then execute. And we'll see all this step by step in detail. And this consists of 4000 plus modules in which, and I just want to emphasize on one thing. This Metasploit framework and Metasploitable 2 are two different things. Remember, Metasploitable 2 is a vulnerable mission that is used to practice penetration testing and ethical hacking on it, whereas Metasploit framework, it is used for developing and executing exploits code against the remote target mission. So in this, we have modules such as auxiliaries, encoders, evasion, exploit, payload, post exploitation. After collecting data, what we will be doing on the target, then no operations. So to begin with auxiliaries, you can use auxiliaries to do DOS attack especially, and SQL injections, directory attack that can be performed using this, and many more other attacks. And using encoders, you can use these encoders to create malicious payloads which cannot be detected by the target antivirus or defenses that are in place. And evasion techniques, this is similar to what the defense sorry this is similar to what the defense, like if you are using some, if the organization is using some firewalls, then you can try to bypass using these evasions. And exploits and payloads, these two are very important terms that I want to emphasize in this slide, because exploit, remember, it is where we take advantage of the vulnerability that is present on the target system. So in simple, if you have an exploit, what it will do is it will trigger that vulnerability that is present on the target system so that you can gain access. Once you gain access, you will load or deliver this payload to the target system so that you can do the actions that this payload is intended to. So these are the two things that you need to know. Most of the, that is why I have no just simply created this slide. Mostly we need to understand these two things because we almost deal with these two things, and encoders we will touch upon it. And yeah, then post exploitation collection we'll see in the later videos. Then we have many types of interfaces in here. MSF console, which we'll be mostly dealing with to interact with that and get the payloads, execute them, exploit the targets, etc. And we will be using MSF Venom to create malicious backdoors, which we will deliver to the target. Then we'll gain access to the system. And arbitrage is the GUI of this MSF framework. So if you just want to have an exploration about that, you can just do it. And here we are only going with CLI, which is very important, I feel, where you have more advantage of exploring things, having multiple things in multiple terminals in place, and then you can try to execute all at once instead of you manually searching in the GUI. So I prefer Metasploit framework as the CLI, which is MSF console. And privilege escalation, we have two types, which is horizontal privilege escalation, vertical privilege escalation. Horizontal privilege escalation is like, let's say you have a access to user A, which in which there is another computer in the same level, which with the same privilege level, but a different user. So that is where you try to, when you try to get access from user A to user B, so this is called horizontal escalation, which is horizontal privilege escalation. And here you will be giving lateral movement to the systems, and normally it is done by session hijacking, and we'll also try to do that in here. And the vertical privilege escalation is where you try to get the admin or the root access. Let's say you have user access. Instead of going to user B, which is lateral movement, you'll take the vertical movement to the upside, that is admin level access, something like that. So user level to administrator level, local user to system or root access. This can be done by buffer overflows, SUID exploitation, etc., which is in advanced. SUID is advanced. Okay, then we have server side and client side. This is what I'm emphasizing in before, since I have said server side is where the vulnerability already exists in the system, whereas client side is vulnerability doesn't exist. Let's say our latest Windows system or latest Kali Linux system or a Parrot operating system, these machines doesn't have any vulnerabilities in them as of now, like for you to exploit. I mean, when you try to put these exploits on already, which are already patched, which doesn't work on the systems. So that is where client side comes. So server side is where you try to take advantage of the vulnerability that is already exist. Since here we are dealing with Metasploitable 2 machine, which is vulnerable machine, as well as Windows 7 machine, we already have vulnerabilities in that. For example, in Windows machine we have Eternalblue and vsftpd in 2.3.4, which is a vulnerable version of FTP that is present in Metasploit, that will take advantage in the server side. And the client side, we will not have any vulnerabilities that are present in place on the target systems, but we'll try to create payloads using MSF Venom and try to deliver to them. Once delivered, we'll try to exploit it. So that is how things work. Then we have options. These are the main important things you must know if you are dealing with MSF console or MS Metasploit framework. So lhost. Lhost is a attacker IP address. Mention C. Now here we are having Parrot operating system. Just a second, I'll show it for you. So here we are having Kali Linux as our operating system, and then here we are having Metasploitable 2 as vulnerable target system. This is the attacker machine, this is the target machine. Attacker machine will be the L host, whereas Metasploitable 2 will be R hosts. Okay, that is the remote host that we have, and we have L host as attacker machine, then L port. So if you want to connect with the target, which port you are using in your attacker machine, that is what you have to mention about L port. And coming to R port is the target, I mean the port that is present on the target on which the service is running, which you can connect to. So you'll take your IP address L port, connect with the target with this respective service. So that is how in simple these terms are. And now we are in the end of death of these PPTs, and we'll move to the practical sessions. Hey everyone, and now we are going to start with actual practicals, which will be doing one server side exploitation and the second one is client side exploitation. We'll see a few examples for server side exploitation first, then we'll move to the client side exploitation. For that, I'll be first checking my Metasploitable 2 IP address, and it is 10.0.2.6, which is same because we are on the same network and I didn't change any settings and all. And yeah, now we'll start with nmap. I'll run with sudo privileges. I think we can close this angry IP scanner since we already know the IP address of the target. And nmap 10.0.2.6, I'll run it with T4, which is faster scan. It doesn't take much time, you can see here. And if you run it with by default, it will take, I think it's T2 or T1, which is a bit slow compared to T4. And yeah, so here we have few services running, and we'll see the versions of them and understand if those versions are vulnerable or not. We have FTP, SSH, Telnet. Then we have some interesting things like IRC, and we'll check with that. Yeah. So here we have the output, which is FTP is running on vsftpd 3.2.4. We'll check if there is any exploit that is available on internet related to that. For that, we'll be going to exploitdb.com, which will have all the exploits, I mean, which are already disclosed, and we will be getting some research papers as well in that. It's more of like the vulnerabilities that are already disclosed will be there with explanations of payloads and all. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll try to search. What is that? vsftpd and 2.3.4, if I'm not wrong. Yes, it is 2.3.4. I'll hit enter. And yeah, so here we have 2021 2011 2.3.4. And yeah, here we are dealing with Metasploit, right? We'll check with this. So in here it is verified. Exploit DB has verified this backdoor command execution, and here you have the payload. We don't need all these things. We'll just take advantage of, I mean, this is the payload which is there in Metasploitable 2. I'm sorry, Metasploit Framework. We'll take advantage of this. And the alternative option for you to search is to download Exploit DB. I'll show you how to download that database. apt, just simple as you download any other things. Exploit DB -y to yes to all the questions that it asks. Since I already downloaded everything, it is it's already showing nothing installed, nothing upgraded, and removing nothing. And for to search in this exploit DB, we need to use a tool called searchsploit. And yeah, searchsploit vsftpd 2.3.4. We can see that there is backdoor execution that is available. I'll just open it again. Yeah, see, Metasploitable 2 backdoor, the same thing which we have seen in here, but it is a CLI version. And this comes in handy. You have to install this DB and then take advantage of this searchsploit to search things. To go with the next, we'll be taking advantage of now. Let's see, 1 second. We'll take to MSF console. So if you want to launch MSF console, we can do this command, and then simply, if you have not installed, by default it will be installed in Parrot, most of the Linux systems, because it is one of the famous tool that is must and should be there in ethical hacking and penetration testing. So yeah, and we see this is the banner. Okay, this is the banner. This could change all the time. If I launch it in the other terminal, I'll just show you MSF console. So the banner could be changed. So don't worry about that. See, I have a different banner in here. Don't worry about this banner. And see here we have got our Metasploit console in here, and I'm terminating in the left side. I don't want to launch it in here. I'll be exiting from here. So to put it in the quiet mode, what we'll do is MSF console and Q, so that you can get rid of this banner. It won't be visible. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm typing some random things. Anyways, we'll terminate that as well. Okay, here if you observe, we have 2496 exploits, so and so payloads, post exploits, payloads, auxiliaries, encoders, and no operations, and then we have evasions. So we can take advantage of those things in there for now. Okay, what we'll do is we'll focus on vsftpd, which we are working on. And yeah, we'll search for now. As you have already learned in the last section, we need an exploit to trigger this vsftpd vulnerability, and we need a payload to deliver it to the target such that we get the reverse connection. Okay, so that we can operate, take advantage of the control, take control of the target system. Here the target system is metasploitable too. Okay, now vsftpd 2.3.4, we'll see. Yeah, we have, I'm sorry, vsftpd. I think I'm running the command to take some other commands in. So here we have an exploit which is FTP related and then backdoor Unix system related. This is disclosed in 2011, which we have already seen in here as well. This rank is excellent, but there is no check. That means it doesn't verify before it's trying to exploit. Before it trigger the target system, it doesn't verify if the target system is vulnerable or not. So what we'll do is we'll take advantage of nmap scripts to verify whether the target is vulnerable to vsftpd or not. Okay, since it's related to ftp, I think we can search it like this: locate.nsc. I'm searching for nmap scripts. um, nmap scripts by default will end with this extension, and grepping for ftp. Yes. So we have these scripts. And one more thing, if you do not have this tool, please download it. Go to internet and search how can you download it. Once you download this locate tool, you need to update DB. That will be all set to use this tool. So just go ahead, search it online, and then get back in here if you do not have this tool. And yeah, here if we see FTP brute force, so and so, vsftpd backdoor.nsc, we'll take advantage of this script. Okay, nmap, I'll be running on only port 21 because it takes time to, we'll specify, it will be easy and quick result. And the script is this one, followed by our target mission 6. So it has started and it has given the result. So port 21 FTP open, and the status of vulnerable, status is vulnerable, see, exploitable. So now it's verified the target is vulnerable to MSF. Target is vulnerable to this backdoor, but that we have in here. So what we'll do, we see here we have exploit, which is vsftpd 2.3.4, so and so, right? You can use it using a command called use, followed by, you can give this number or you can give this name. Both works. So I'll simply give the number. That now we are set with the exploit, which triggers the vulnerability. Once we are done with that, we need to check if the payload is automatically set or not. And here we have no payload configured. This exploit doesn't have any payload configured by default. So it's defaulting to the cmd/unix interact. Okay, so let's leave it like that for now. We'll discuss about how can we customize this payloads, how can we set. For this payload will work. Okay, and we'll take advantage of that, since we have exploit which triggers the vulnerability and the payload that delivers into the target system once exploited. Now we need to set the target, right? For this MSF console, we didn't say anything that this is the target or that is the target. So we need to set our target. You remember that we learned about R host, L host, etc., which is very important. And one more thing, if you want to have some information about this payload exploit, I'm sorry, this is exploit, right? So this name vsftpd backdoor command execution, you can just type info in here, which shows the complete description of whatever the exploit you have chosen. And once we are done with that, what we'll do is, you can see the description in here. And yeah, so we'll show options. See here we have our host. These options, we have to set these options. Make sure whenever you try to take advantage of or use this Metasploit framework, you should set some options which are required, which you cannot skip, because only if these required fields are filled, this exploit can be used on the target system. If I don't set this R host, that means it does this MSF console doesn't know what the target is. For that reason, I'm setting R hosts, which is 10.0.2.6. Okay, and I'll make sure that for you, yeah. So here Metasploitable 2 is not at all logged in, okay? And I have set the R host. I'm setting enter, and we have default R port, which is okay, which is required and then fulfilled by default. We'll leave it to that, and we'll now run or exploit. Both will work. Okay. Now we are running our exploit to trigger the vulnerability on the target, and we have found a shell that we have gained access now. No, we can take advantage of that. Now see, shell session opened on from our target to random port to the target on the other random port. Okay, at a time so and so. Now what we'll do is we'll take shell. No, it will take advantage of bin bash. Normally it will run binaries, Python binaries on the target system, and then it will take advantage of bin bash to give shell. Once you are done with this once you have seen this line, found bash at bin slash bash, you just hit enter once. That is done. Now you got the root access to the Metasploit. Here we didn't even log in as a normal user, but we got the root user in here. Let's verify ipconfig. I'm sorry, I think it is IPA will work. Yeah. And yeah, see 10.0.2.6, which is our target, and host name is Metasploitable 2. Okay. I'm sorry. Then you can do uname -a to know the architecture, what is the time on the target system, etc. Then you can see the ID to understand what is the user you are belonging to and the group you are belonging to. So this is how we can take advantage of that, and then we can list all the things that are there on the target system. We can alter. It's like a shell access that you got from this. And that's it about this video. In the next video, we'll try to exploit one more service and see if it works or not. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back. And in this module, we'll see how we can take advantage of SMB related vulnerability. And since we have started before this payload, we'll exit from that. Exit. I forgot to do this, and I really apologize for that. And if you want to unselect this payload, what we can do, I mean exploit, what we can do is just hit type back and enter. That's it. So we have something will have, I mean, we are dealing with another vulnerability that is present. I think this is crashed. Great. I think anyways, this is working now, so we'll work with that. And I'll open in another terminal. I don't know why it's not responding. Wow. Anyways, we'll check internet. Yeah, nothing is working. Just give me a time. I'll just relaunch it. Go to this. We'll take Kali Linux. I'll try to increase the RAM. I think that should work. 6 GB RAM I have put, and let's take advantage of 6 cores. Hopefully there won't be any crashes from now on. I think due to I use it a lot. I think there is a lot of memory that is occupied in that. So that is the reason is it's not opening well. It's not responding to our actions that we are doing on. Anyways, so in this module, we take advantage of SMB related vulnerability, which is Samba SMB D, which is we'll see it in detail in here once we are into this. Now we are also focusing on client side vulnerability, which is already present on the target system. So My Kali Linux mission is launching, and yeah, I think this could take 2 3 seconds. You're almost there. So normally when you try searching using search plot, sometimes you may not get the payloads right. At that time, what you need to do is you need to take advantage of Google. Instead, I said you that you have to use, keep it in handy that the search spot. First, we'll do the nmap scan first. Nmap 10.0.2.6, and I'll go with fast scan. So see here, I think we need to do the version scan as well so that we can understand the versions in that. Then, and one more thing, if you are dealing with Metasploit, if you click on there in the Metasploit, if someone don't know anything about this Metasploit, I mean the basic thing, if your mouse is captured in that, you can just use your right control button so that it comes out. It will uncapture it. And now, keeping things apart, focusing on our SMB related vulnerability, we have two ports open. SMB runs directly on port 445, and the other one is 139. Okay, so we'll, anyway, both are same. We'll take advantage of any one of it. We'll try search it using searchsploit, SEARCHSPLOIT, with the name Samba 3x something is there, no? The complete copy, paste, enter. And I think as I mentioned, if you do not find in here, what we'll do, we'll take advantage of Google. So once we open our browser, what we'll search for is the same exploit thing. Same exploit. I'll type Rapid7. Not required, maybe. Yeah, see here, Rapid7 thing has already come in on the top. I'll tell you why it is showing Rapid7, because Metasploitable 2 is, I think, related with this organization. So that is the reason it is being, showing in there. So this is another good resource that you can take advantage of. No? So this is disclosed in 2018. I mean, disclosed in 2010 and created in 2018. So the code module options are given in here. We'll take advantage of this. Okay. The use exploit multi Samba user. No, this script is what will take advantage. I copied that and we'll run msf console sudo msf so and the password, starting the console. I think I would have started it in the quiet mode, but anyways, this banner not yet given the console for us. It's loading. And yeah, sometimes this happens and you have to go through online searches, and this Rapid7 will actually give you a lot of, clear information of how to take advantage of this using Metasploit, all these things. So yeah, we got the console in here, and we'll search for the same thing. I mean, why search? We'll just use it directly since they already put everything in there. So now, we have again the default payload configured to reverse netcat. Okay, we'll get the reverse netcat in here once we try to exploit this. And since we need to set the PTI, we need to set the target, right? For that, I'm doing show options. So in here, I have our host is yes, and local, our target, I mean our mission and port number is already set by default. So we need to just set our host, okay? Set our hosts, which is 10.0.2.6, okay? Now I think we have set our host. We'll try check again, show options, and we see here. Why I'm doing all these things is, once you try to do multiple things, you'll get to understand, you will get to know how these things are working. If you try keep on, I mean, if you see it once and then try to remember it, it may not be possible for everyone. So if you do multiple exploitations like this, it will, no, you'll understand this step by step approach of how we are doing things. so that even if given any situation with any other vulnerabilities, you can try to implement the same methodology that we are following now. So for that reason, I'm training you with multiple payloads, okay? And we'll try to exploit now. ELOIT. We'll try run because no everything works, but it's here and there. That depends on you. It's completely optional. You can use any one of the. Now see, we have one session open. See here we have port 444 because lhost is already set to port 4444. So, and the target it is random port. Okay. Now since we have shell, what we'll do now? Shell. Then we have a binary that ran on the target system which gave bin bash. You know, so now well, it will take advantage of bin bash and then gives the shell. I'm hitting enter. That's it. So we got the root access same as we did in the last video. So this is about the exploitation of SMB related vulnerability. And so normally, and one more thing to add in here, SMB login. I mean, all these things, whatever you do in here, could be logged on the target system. And if there are any other, SIEM tools or, defenses that are in place that could log all your activities, you have to be very careful about that. So, yeah, we are done with that. And the task is, I want you to take advantage of this IRC. So, IRC related vulnerability, and I think I'll be showing that as well because we'll try to learn how to set the payloads in there, because I think that yeah, we'll show it in here. So we'll take advantage of IRC related vulnerability, Unreal IRC. So we'll search IRC. I'm sorry, it's search exploit. Where did I do wrong? SEARCH SPLOIT search SEARCH. I'm really sorry for that, and it's okay. It's fine. See, we can take advantage of this backdoor that is available, which is giving remote. You know, I mean the path is remote related. I'll execute it again. So here we have Metasploit thing that we can take advantage of. We have also Stack Overflow, and yeah, denial of service is also possible to do on that particular port and service that is running on. We'll take advantage of that. MSF, we already have it open in here in the other side. I'll drag it. We'll exit from this, exit again. Yeah, and we'll unselect this. Now we need to search for the backdoor, Unreal IRCD, and you can see here we have a backdoor and it doesn't do any checks. You can verify it, or you can try run and then check if it is vulnerable or not directly. That is the simplest thing, I think. I mean, you can also cross verify, that is up to you. So we'll normally take advantage of that directly. Use 0, use 0. Okay, now we have set our exploit, but you see here the payload is not set. Show options. No, in the last one we have set our hosts, but here the payload is not set to any default. If you try to show options, is already here, which is asking for our host. Let's set them. Set our host, which is 10.0.2.6, and we'll try to run it. See here, exploit failed. A payload has not been selected. So here you have to set a payload, which is very, very important. For that, now you need to show options. You trigger it, but what is the use after triggering it? Like you need to take advantage of that, right? By delivering the payload onto the target. We'll see the payloads in here. Yeah. So for that, it is options, show op payloads. And here we have multiple payloads. So we'll see online if there is anything that is available related to that. Is it this that we are looking for? Yeah. And here, show options, exploit the target. I think they are not setting the payload in here. We can try different payloads that are available. Yes, we'll see. I already know which payload works because I have already done it before. But if we could see online and if we can find any resource that shows the respective payload can be used, we can take advantage of that as well. So number related vulnerability 2015. Nope. Yeah. Normally, if you are not sure about what payload could work, what you have to do is to try all the command, all this, and see which works. That is the worst thing that we can do. But since we already have some idea on what it is, we are going with generic command execution, which we are working on. I mean, we just need a generic command execution on that. So we'll use that. For that, use I think set payload 5 should work. Yes. Or you can also give this complete, uh, the complete name. And now we'll run the on the target. One or more options are failed. Two options. Yes, yes. So here it is asking some setting. Command string to execute. What is the command string that you want to execute? We don't know the command string that we can use to execute. Otherwise, we'll take a advantage of, yeah, reverse. We will get the reverse connection, I think. We'll see. Info 6. I think we need to show the payloads first. So payloads info 6. I don't think info will work. I haven't tried it. Yeah. So info followed by the payload. So it creates an interactive shell through two inbound connections. Okay. I think we can take advantage of this one. Likewise, you can see like what, and it also gives you what is required and what is not. Since we don't know the command that we need to put in here, we'll take advantage of this, the reverse thing. Or you can try any other things which could be working. You can just check over it. And we are going with this set payload. This payload will set. Yeah, we have set the payload. We'll check if the options are all set, which are required. Set. And yes, we need to set our L host. Set L host, which is 10.0.2.13 if I'm not wrong. Let's name it fun. Yes, which is yes, set. Now we'll run it. That's it. So this is how we try to put our payload. Since here it is not defaulted to anything, we are putting our payload and then trying to execute. And we have a cell session 2 opened on the target in here to the other side. So yeah, that is about that vulnerability. And once you wait a bit of time, I think it will give you this connection to the target. It has already given. Yes, it has given the connection. Now if you just and type shell and enter, we got the Metasploit connection onto the Unreal path. So this is how you can take advantage of SMB related vulnerability. Next, we'll try to exploit a famous vulnerability, that is Eternal Blue. For that, I'll exit from here, exit again, back, and Eternal Blue is not present on, I think it's not present on this Metasploit. We have it on our Windows system. So I have my Windows machine, which is one of the Windows machine. Anything is fine. You can have Windows machine, I think until Windows 10, or I think Windows machines until 10, those could work. If you do not have this Windows machine, check online and get it. Like, you'll see a lot of machines that are available. And yeah, that is there. Windows 10 machine is Windows 10 will work. Some versions of 8 will work maybe, and Windows 7 is vulnerable to this Eternal Blue. I think I don't remember the passwords. Just a second. I'm checking for the password that I have. Yes. I don't think login is required. However, we'll just do it. CMD. See, here we have our IP address which we can check, but in real we will not have access, right? So at that time we'll take advantage of our Nmap also you can take, but Angry IP Scanner is the quickest, fast one, which I feel is very good. See, here I have Windows 7 server, which is actually a server, and it has 2.8. You can have Windows 7 machine also. There is no problem. For my convenience, I didn't install Windows 7. I have my Windows 7 server, so I'm using that. So we will take advantage of that Eternal Blue, right? Search ETERNALBLUE. Yes. See, here we got many things, many exploits. We have auxiliaries, we have, and I think we can try to like, exploit. Yeah, we don't need. If see here we have only 29, but there could be times where you'll be having 600, 700 things. So at times this filters will work for you. And see here, eternal blue, right? Eternal blue. We already have exploit there, but yeah, MS17010, right? So we'll take, I mean, Eternal Blue, it is available on this MS17010, and it was disclosed, and the description which gives remote SMB Windows kernel. Normally, how this payload takes advantage of the vulnerability is it will try to do buffer overflow in the background on the target machine. There is a vulnerability that is buffer overflow vulnerability that is available on the target machine. This Eternal Blue will try to take advantage of that. It will exploit that and then get access to that system. Now we'll use it 0, and then we'll see what are the options. See, here we have a default payload set to Windows machine, which is required, and the architecture is x64 with meter connection that we need, which gives our interaction between the two machines that can easily happen. And the last one is reverse TCP. We are getting TCP connection from that system to this system. We are not sending the request, it is giving the request for us. You understand that? Okay, so that is about the meter this thing, Windows so and so thing. So now we'll try to exploit it. Show options. We have our host, which is needed, and yeah, that's it. Our host 10.0.2.8, right? This time. Now we'll run the exploit, and you can see that the Metasploit is trying to exploit the target is vulnerable. See, I think I have missed it. 1 second. Yeah. See here, check. It checks if the target is vulnerable or not. Before it didn't check, right? When we tried for vsftpd or smb or irc, so we need to manually verify them either by executing it directly, or you can try doing it with, if there are checks that are available in here, you can, it will do the work for you. So we have the meter connection. We can take advantage of this help. There are a lot of things that you can do with this. You can background GUID and system file commands, which is cat cd dir. Dir will work on this, and we have commands like port forwarding, routing, then clear. This series clear ref clears the event log. Now we have done all the logs, right? If you want to clear that event logs, this command you can use, which will clear all the logs on the target system. See, we just opened it for the sake of opening, but we didn't touch it. But we got the shell access for that, and you can also reboot it. You can also shut down it. It's complete control on the target. And if you want to elevate privileges, attempt to elevate privileges to, I think now we'll already have this info. Windows 7 server, which is so and so 64-bit, and this. Then we have, I think there is a command that we can use. See, we got the shell access, and see here, Windows system 32. You know who will get access to this? When you will get access to this? When you are the admin user. When you try to open a command prompt using admin, it will open to this location. So yeah, who am I should give? Yes, entity authority. That means you have the higher privileges in here. So that is where you can take advantage of Eternal Blue. And the interesting thing is, I'll show you keyboard events. You can take screenshots as well. I'll show you how we can take screenshots. There should be somewhere in here, should be written. Down system. Oh, yes. The user interface commands, which are very, very, thrilling. You can capture the screen. You can capture the screenshot. We'll do that. I don't think you can do it from there. Exit from here. We have the meter connection, right? So TREEMSHO screenshot. Yes. So now it has saved to so and so JPEG, right? Now we'll try to open that file. Kali, home, Kali, home, Kali, and then we have image. Where is the, yes, this is the image. See the exact image that we have opened the machine. Here is the machine, and this is the image. So yeah, that is how you can take advantage of this Eternal Blue, which is very, you know, very excellent payload that you can have. I think you can also get the webcam, no, webcam access, web snap, take a snapshot on the specific. I didn't give access to that. Target does not have webcam because even though if I give devices webcams, integrated webcam I gave, but my webcam is driver is ready to use. You can see here. I don't know, camera is not there, so we'll see in the other side. But I actually closed the camera with a sticker, so you cannot probably see it. Webcam snap and starting. We have saved. See, this is the blank image because I closed my camera. So yeah, that is about this Eternalblue vulnerability where you can take advantage of it. Yes, and we can also do hash dump. Hash dump. See, normally hash dump will give the passwords of respective users in the hashes. To crack these hashes, you need to have tools like you will be already having in here, but the simplest way to take an so this is the username and I think this is a password. We have administrator, right? Before I have entered a password. No, I will check for Stark. Stark is a user which is on the target. I think this is the username. We'll take advantage of a tool, online tool called Crackstation, which is a very, very excellent tool. If you do not have any salt to the hash, then you can try using this salting hash and all. It's another topic. It's asking me if I'm not a human. I'm not a human. See, we have type lm the result. There is nothing. I think I'm not sure. That is password. This should be the password or def. I'm not a robot. Okay, okay, probably. See, star 123 is the password for the user star. So this is how you can take advantage of other users in here. If you have access to one system, one user, you can try to escalate privileges to administrator by cracking these passwords. There are a lot of other situations where you can take advantage of that. And with this, we are done with server side attacks. And you can try explore more using these services and their vulnerabilities in here. And yeah, see you in the next module or next session. Hey everyone, welcome back. And since we are done with server side exploitation, there are a lot of things that we can do, but just for an idea, we have done few. And now we are moving to client side exploitation, which is another thing where client will not be, I mean, the target will not be having any vulnerabilities on their system. However, we try to deliver some code or some application onto their system using social engineering techniques that will be done in the real world by attackers. But here we'll just deliver it to the victim. And once it is delivered and executed, we'll get the session. And if there is normal user privilege that we got, and we'll also see how we can bypass it to get the higher privileges. Once it is done, we'll try with another another method like web delivery also. Then yeah, that is how we'll be going. So we'll take advantage of HTA, which is HTML server that is available. And with that, what we'll be doing is with this, normally this HTA server, which is which will be hosting a malicious HTML application, so that once it is delivered to the victim using different social engineering techniques in the real world, will once they download and execute the file, we'll get the application, I mean, we'll get their access to the system. So we'll see how this works in detail. First, we will be sudo su kali MSF console on quiet mode. I'll be launching it. I don't think we need the second terminal in here, but we'll go with it in here itself. So yeah, so here once this is launched, we'll take advantage of HTA server, which is an exploit. Okay, for that I'll be doing a CARCH HTA server. So here we have an exploit, which is an HTA server. We'll see the information about that, and we got the description as which hosts an HTML application. When open and run, payload will be run via PowerShell, and make sure that there is PowerShell on the target system. So this is we are focusing on, we are targeting our Windows 7 machine in here. So since it will be having PowerShell, so we do not have any problem with that, and we'll take advantage of that. Now here we'll use 0. We have our Windows MISC HTS server set. Now we'll see. I don't think that require any, target L host, R host we have to set, because we are delivering the application to the victim, right? So here, if you clearly observe, the payload is configured to default payload, which is reverse TCP. Reverse TCP means before we try to connect to the target, right? By setting their R host and all. Now what we'll do, since we are delivering a payload, a malicious code or application, a file, once that file is executed on the target machine, we'll automatically get the connection back. If you clearly observe, show options, see, we do not have a R host anywhere in here, okay? But L host is already set by default, which is our machine. Since we need to listen through our machine for whatever the connection that is made from the other system, okay? So now we will be going ahead. So we'll exploit, and I'll put it in the background. -J puts the exploit running in the background. So we'll go with that. Once it is backgrounded, now what we'll do is, I think I have opened it in the last session. That is why it is showing 3 sessions open. But anyhow, you won't be getting all these things. Now what I'll do is I'll try to download it again and show it for you. I'll copy this, I'll paste it on the target machine's browser. Any browser is fine. Once we downloaded it, we'll try to execute it and run. See, there is a sending, and then we have session 4 opened, but in your case it will be session 1. Okay, keep that in mind. Once I click enter, once it has shown that so and so thing, we'll see sessions, how many sessions, SESS7S. Then we have Voldemort. The fourth one is what we opened now. Ignore the above 3. It could be first one for you, but here it is fourth one for me. Do not confuse with that. Now what we'll do is, we have let's take session, interact with session 4, okay, which we have just connected to. Now when I try to do we have user ID as Voldemort PC. Since if you see it here, we do not have NT authority system for this fourth session, right? So what we'll do, we'll try to get the higher authority access to the system. So I think shell should give you, yeah, see, it is a normal user Voldemort and downloads. I'll exit this, background it. See, since we have normal user, we'll try to escalate it to the privileged user. Okay, for that we need to bypass the UAC, user access, sorry, user account control. This one will be normally when you try to open command prompt. Let's say I have opened my command prompt in here as an administrator. So this UAC, user access control, will be there, right? We'll try to bypass that in the system, on the target system. It's a Windows system. Remember that this HTA server is to target the Windows machines, not the normal Linux or other machines. Okay, so to do that, we will take advantage of another one. I think SEARCH bypass UAC. So in Windows 7, this exploit will work. Exploit slash Windows slash local slash bypass UAC. But if you are trying it on Windows 7, I'm sorry, Windows 11 machine, the latest one, this will help you. The exploit Windows local bypass UAC would help her. Since I don't have Windows 11 with me, uh, I couldn't show that, but you can try it, give it a try if you have it in your virtual box. And that's it. I think there is another payload that could work, which is sticky keys. I'm not sure about that. Just check with that. So what we'll do, since we have that meter sessions in the background, SESSIONS. This fourth one is our this thing, but in your case it will be the first one, and we'll try to take advantage of this bypass UAC thing. So I'll bypass UAC use. I think it's two. Yeah, it is two. Once clicked enter, then done. We have set our meter payload, which is reverse TCP. That means we'll get connection request from that machine to this machine, not this machine to that machine. It's that machine to this machine. I mean, in simple, Windows machine will ask us to get connected. Okay, so we'll see info two. Let's see info that we already have. Oh, v2. This module will bypass UAC by utilizing the trust publisher certificate. The process is explained here. So show options will ask us to select a session that we want to use, so that this module will be running on that specific session to take the higher, to create the higher privileges. I mean, to create a new session with higher privileges. Since we have it in here as set sessions, set session 4, but in your case it will be 1. And if you have other, I mean, you can take any session on that. Here, since we have opened a new session which is 4, I'm considering that. If it is, if you are using for the first time, it will be 1 for you, and I have set it for 4, and I'll exploit it. Once it is exploited, you can see we are not touching the target anymore, because we just executed the first payload, I mean the first HCA server file, and then we are doing this exploitation. So once you are done with that, what we will do is we'll try to interact with that session. See, now we have session 5 opened, which is privileged. I'll show you 1 second. SESSIONS. See, session 5, boom, it's not privileged. But we tried using bypassing UAC, and then we got Akash. You said that you'll be getting privileged user. Yeah, here is the trick. Sessions interact with 5th session. Once we try to interact with that, let's see the user ID of that system. So server username is Voldemort. And now we'll try to execute a command called get system. This will help us get higher privileges. So now what we'll do, we got the system, will hash dump. So here are the administrators, so and so. What I'll do, we'll do get UID again. See, we have NT authority system. Now background, then sessions. The 5th interpreter session is NT authority system administrator. So if you try to sessions interact with 5th one, then I want shell access, then you see Windows 7, Windows system 32 system access has been received. So this is how you can do that. Yeah, and Now these are many jobs, no, that I mean, if you're using parrot operating system, it will be shown that jobs, agents and all. Agents is the number of systems you compromised, and the jobs is these sessions. Okay, we'll stop all the jobs and sessions. I mean, I need to exit from here. Exit. So we'll kill all the jobs as well as sessions. See here we are having these many sessions, right? We'll kill them as well. So now everything is closed. If we run, we have no active sessions. We'll go back. Now we are done with that HDA thing, and we'll move to the next one, which is web delivery. Okay, so simple again. Search web delivery, and we have an exploit here, and we'll use that exploit. Okay, which is manual. There is no check, and script web delivery, it's a script, so we'll take advantage of that. Use 5 info, we'll check that information, which gives, oh see, too much description. If you want in detail, you can go ahead. So this module quickly fires up a web server that serves a payload. Okay, and the module will provide a command to run on target machine based on selected target. So whenever you try to execute this module, that will run on the target, and it will download and execute using a specified scripting language, interpreter, or something is there, I'm not sure about that. And we have this. So now you can go through that how things work and all. So now here we'll just go with exploitation of that. Before that, we'll show options. I don't think we need to set any options in here because L host, yeah, sometimes this may not be given. We have to set our L host. Hostname -I will give our IP address. Set lhost 10.0.2.13 has our tracker machine. So options, and lhost is set. Once it is done, what we'll do, exploit J, right? So I think this works a bit different. I'll show you. I think if it is there online, delivery so console. This actually, this resource is very great resource, open source, completely free. You can clearly practice everything. This offsec Metasploit Unleashed, this one you can clearly understand everything, all the modules you can practice on that. Metasploitable 2 will be your target, and Metasploit framework can be used completely on that, and I think you can also try on different things as well. So see, they're using DVW as a target, and then they try to exploit everything in here. So but here we are using our mission. Okay, I mean, it's the same thing, no? Like DVWA with the Metasploitable 2. But here we are using uh, the Windows 7 machine. So this works a bit different. Now here we have few module. I mean, target exploit targets. Like we have Python, PHP, so and so. So what we'll do is we'll take advantage of push PSH. So we'll confirm what is PSH first. Copy. Simple. If you don't understand anything, Google AI. Come to that Google AI, paste it here. it will explain everything. See, we have seen that it will take advantage of REG SVR32. There is something with this. I think I couldn't recall it now, but there is something dealt. What is 2PSH? So refers to a PowerShell. Yes, I forgot that. Uh, so we are here, since there is PowerShell on the target machine, we'll take that. Okay. Set target as 2. Once we set by default it is set to Python, but Python is not installed on the target system, right? So that's why we are changing it in here. So once it is set, we'll exploit-j, it will background not compatible payload. What is the payload we have? Oh, too many payloads. So I think there is something that's done wrong. 1 second. Where is that? Web delivery. Yeah, here if you see, the payload is set to Python. We made that mistake, so we learn from the errors. It's completely okay, right? See, normally if you do not see errors, you don't understand what is the problem if you get it in the next time. But during your learning time, if you get errors, that is where you learn things. So by mistakenly we didn't identify this, we didn't focus on this. So the payload is configured to Python interpreter reverse TCP. But what we are dealing with, we are dealing with the Windows system, right? So that is why we need to set Windows. We need connection. What connection? Reverse TCP via Meterpreter. Enter. Oh, I think priority here. Reverse TCP. Oh, payload is missing. Yeah. Now exploit-j and see, if you run this code on the target machine, you will get access. That is what it says. It's completely encoded. Hmm? PowerShell exe. I'll copy this. Windows PowerShell. Just click, right click. Right click should work. Paste, not working. I'll copy again. Copy selection. Yes, right click, enter. That's it. See, we have something running in the background. Payload executed. It. If you no, I think it's base 64 encoded. Let's see. Try decode it. You know this CyberChef website. This is a very good one. So this will help you in working with lot of encoding, decoding, lot of other things. See, these all things you can do. So we'll put input our input there, and we'll try to place 64. No, I think it's not readable. Just for fun. Don't take it serious, okay? So we have our web delivery payload is delivered. Then we have to hit enter. That's it. Sessions. No sessions were created. Wow, that's amazing. Something went wrong again. PowerShell stopped working. What we can do? Close the program. What we'll do? We'll try to execute again. We'll exploit. We'll see. I think it's running in the background already. Two sessions. Enter. PowerShell will crash. We have meter. Yeah, now it's yes, perfect. We have mentor session 6 open sessions, and then interact with the session, right? Interact simply sessions, interact, and yeah. Oh, I didn't give the number. I don't think we'll get the system because we didn't bypass the UAC. So here we have who am I? dir will work in Windows to list the directories. So this is how you can get access. See, never give up. You have to never give up, okay? This is the learning process. You are into this and you have to go with this. That's it. So that is what I mean. I personally do not leave if I didn't get something, because we are building our foundations. If our foundations aren't strong, if we didn't understand, or if we skip something, if we are dealing with something in future related to this one module or this thing, we may not solve it, which could be very very important. If you have your building foundation strong, and you can build upon it, right? If it is not strong, where? So you should not lose your hopes, you should keep on trying. I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm not a motivational speaker though, but I'm just telling you, you should not give up. That is where, you know, you get ahead of a lot of people. When you try to quit, but if there are other people who don't quit, those are the people who come up. So we have to be in that category. Okay, so keep going. This is about client side exploitation, and hopefully you got clear idea about metasploitable framework. And as I mentioned before, you can check this offset metasploit unleashed. This is a very very good resource. You can, take target as Metasploit framework. Everything is written in detail in here, so you can take advantage of that and then go ahead. And that's it for this video about Metasploit. I think you got some basic idea of how to use it, what is what in detail, as I've kept it as simple as possible. And if there is any lag in between, I'm really sorry for that, since this is how we learn. This representation is what it is. So yeah, that's it for this video. And hopefully if you have any questions or any doubts, please let me know in the comment section. And if you want me to make any videos on different topics, please let me know in the comment section as well. I'll try to do it. Thank you so much for watching. Keep learning, keep growing.